Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you when succulents need repotting. Usually when we search online about when to repot succulents, the answer is usually 2 years. But today I brought several plants. Let's take a closer look to see what signs tell us when to repot. Now let's examine why each plant needs repotting over here. This group needs repotting today. For example, this one, when I touch the crown, it wobbles. If we look at the roots below, can't grip soil anymore. This crown is quite small when leaves drop naturally. It gets smaller each year. I've had this one for 5 plants. Like this one is the same when I first planted this size. The crowns should be much larger. When leaves this naturally drop is small, the soil will deteriorate. Like that one though, walling not might be washing lacks nutrients. It away now soil watering now this small one is more obvious. Roots are already exposed before soil and particles covered up to here. Now they're exposed in about a year or so. It might end up like that one with a wobbly crown, and this small one might but this or be reduced to just the crown. By then it's too late to repot, so we should repot now. This one too, this one is obvious. First it's tilted, and over here the roots are so has a thick stem, not overwatered. Look, now it's loose. When I touch it, definitely needs repotting. Let's check this one. When we take it out, it's tilted, also wobbly, so I think roots might be bad too, needs repotting too. This one's more obvious. Look at this area. It's dried out. This is a raindrop. When I got it, it was probably already mature. You can clearly see these are growth rings. It might have grown a bit more here now. Just this small crown, which means the soil has become compacted, so it's not growing the succulent, this crown, it's only consuming its roots. These two in thumb pots, no soil left, it's all particles. When I planted, there was soil. For these thumb pots, I rarely use roots coming out. Here, need to repot it. This one last another year, but now is perfect timing. This one I originally thought it would offset easily, so I used this wide mouth pot, but it's too big. You can see some elongation, and these new growths very good, so I plan to change its soil look. This might be too shallow. It has soil yet. Today, for example, this group, all of these leaves, they're still, but the crown hasn't gotten smaller. Still this size, including this. When leaves drop, just remove them. It hasn't gotten smaller, so these can wait for now. This one too just need to pop leaves. Don't need repotting, including that one back there. These two are optional for first this one. Let's see. So roots are showing this variety grows aerial roots. Say it's optional because Look, growth ring soil elongation soil mix is quite good, but why repot? It's growing well, but I want it bigger. Pot is a bit small. I might. Same with this one. I didn't put many particles in this one. As long as the crown is normal size, I don't need to repot. Now let's repot them one by one. Let's start with this small one. Quite forceful this pot. If there's no issue and it's not too big or small, I won't change it. Look, let's see. This is lined with particles. Look, almost no soil left. So these roots have dried out. Almost everything I removed has no soil. Let me also remove the dried leaves. For this type, I might want it slightly bigger to grow larger. I'll reduce particles inside slightly. For such small pots, particles are optional. I'll mix soil in this pot. This amount is enough, about 50-50. This repotting is done. We'll add top dressing after. During the repotting, just now, I trimmed roots slightly, removing the dried roots. We'll add top dressing later. Next one, let's do this one. This one is quite curious one. Pull, and it came out. Let's first check if roots fall off with a touch. Can't absorb water at all if we don't repot. Now these roots just crumble. We can discard them, all starting fresh. For this condition, I'll use about 50% particles. Let's see, the roots have filled this space, so this definitely needs. This pot is done too. About 50% particles. Look, there are aerial roots here, meaning the lower section is actually dead or nearly dead. So I'll plant it fairly low so I can't see that this way. Next one, let's do this one. Look, this one has dropped so many leaves and each head isn't very plump. Each head isn't too many drop leaves. So let's see if it's also probably out of soil. Roots have filled the space. I put lots of clay pellets at bottom. Almost no soil left. Bottom roots came loose too. Time to repot. If you want to see how to trim roots, search for my previous videos. I should have covered it. Search for how to trim succulent roots or how to repot. There should be more details. This focuses on timing, so I'm working quite quickly. Let's check this one next. Definitely needs repotting, already loose one pull. And it comes out easily. Look. Roots are very dry. Raindrop variety needs fewer particles because in different seasons it shows the raindrop shape. In this season it doesn't have that, and its colors show stress easily, so it doesn't need many particles. This time I'll give it more soil to help the crown grow larger, though there's some elongation here, normal growing elongation. This pot is finished super quick repotting. I use 70% soil, 30% particles to help the crown grow larger. This one's done. We'll add top dressing later. Next, let's do a bigger one. This one is old. It must have lots of particles inside, or the soil has settled down. You can see himself propagated babies, top leaves that fell and propagate themselves. I feel like leaves in their mother's embrace have a very high success. Such dry soil, yet dropped leaves can still propagate babies. Let me remove it first. I treasure every baby. Let them die on my watch. All right. Let's start repotting. This pink is done too. This is an old variety. I put quite a bit of soil and particles in it during the repotting process. As you saw, I reused a lot of the existing materials. The particles from the pot are fine. Diseased, no disease. So I reused the existing particles and soil, then added some fresh soil, add soil, lacking soil particles 2 times will grow upward, suck you the roots. So inevitably the roots get old. I'll pull it out with eight right out. This one I'll give 50% particles again because they're all damaged. Their roots are all damaged. I want them to grow. So most of these newly repotted ones get 50%. This one's done too. We'll water them all later, but this time we can water immediately. Previously, I shared that if freshly repotted, if there are wounds, don't water right away, but today we have almost no wounds, just naturally dried roots, so we can water direct. This one is what I mentioned. The crown keeps getting smaller. I suspect all the soil has washed out. Too many particles. Let's check. Indeed, almost no soil, all particles. This is what we discussed about growing succulents in pure particles. The watering needs to be light, and you need to repot. Otherwise, you'll constantly need to water and control elongation, which is quite difficult. These dried roots can go. You can search for the root trimming episode. I need to remove this. This will be in the way when replanting. For an experienced person like me, I won't let it dry. I used to tell everyone to let wounds dry, but I won't for this type because it's healthy with many other roots. And during this process, it'll dry about 20-30 minutes anyway. All right. Let's repot this. Also 5% particles. Very excited about it. What am I excited about? Let's finish this last pot. First, this one has a wobbly crown. Usually a wobbly crown means the roots are compromised. Let's see. Look at this wobbly crown. The crown has sunk down. Many particles left can't grip properly. Look, this one's roots are dried out. 50% particles. After repotting like this, if you still feel it's a bit wobbly, that's fine. We'll add top dressing later, which will stabilize it. This one is finished now. Let's do these 2 thumb pots. For thumb pots, I plan to use 100% all soil, no particles because the pots are already small. Alright, this thumb pot is done. I used pure soil in the thumb pot. All soil. Look, both are done. This is the last one. This one I mentioned, the pot is too shallow. Plus this pot is quite large. Maybe too much water. So there's some elongation. This one fell from above. I stuck it on the side. Let's check this elongation. Could be from too much water or not enough sunlight. If you want to know how to prevent elongation, how to water, you can search my previous videos. They're all there. Look. Mostly particles. I'll keep using this. Let me see if there's something more suitable. I got a pot this size. I think this suits its size better. The other one too big, so I'll change the green pot to this one. This one's done too. I stuck this crown right, and actually it has no roots, just a stem. Hope it will grow more compactly. Why do I repot this one too? They most got 50% particles because they're all freshly repotted. They need a growth period. After some time, they might become 70% soil, which is perfect for growth without elongation. Alright, this side I mentioned are optional. Forgot to mention this crested one is presentative. I repotted this crested one about 1 or 2 years ago because crested forms prefer water and soil, so its particles are now almost 10%. 10-20% max. Rest is soil. Stem is quite thin. I'll repot this one too. Pot is a bit small. I might use a bigger pot. Pot matches its color. I'll think about it. first watering should be thorough establishment. For this, watering might not water for 10-15 days. After repotting, if you water too much too frequently, too often, it can cause elongation. Alright, that's all for today. If you like my video, please subscribe, like, and share. Yen from Toronto, let's grow succulents together.